Hey everybody, welcome back to In Bed with a Millennial. I'm the Millennial Javeda Bay, and this is my bed, and it is still in August. Well, one of my favorite months. And all this month, I am taking you through everything you need to know to actually have a good and pleasurable anal experience. And today, we are talking about anal training because it is the number one key activity that makes or breaks an anal experience. If you anal train, you are more likely to actually enjoy anal play. If you don't, you're gonna be one of those people out here saying, like, oh my God, anal always hurts. It hurts because you ain't trained for it. Do you think they went to the Olympics without training for it? No. Okay, well, maybe the lady that was breakdancing. But no, people train for the Olympics, just like you gotta train for anal play. So let's get into it. Okay, Jave, we hear you. We have to train for anal play, but like, what does that even mean? I'm so happy that you asked. Anal training is the activity of actually relaxing the anal sphincters, those two muscles in the anus, so that way anal play can be pleasurable, and so that way you're not causing undue or unnecessary strain to your anus. Because again, it has two muscles back there. You can strain a muscle, including the ones in your butt. So anal training is going to help minimize that, and there's a few different ways to go about it. Though I recommend like this particular sequence. And it starts with using your fingers, but you can't do anything without lube. So you get your lube and then you have your fingers and you've already cleaned everything to be comfortable because obviously you're about to like touch things. So once you're all ready, set, cleaned up, ready to go, you get your lube and you're just going to put some on your finger. I recommend starting with your index finger because it's pretty generally pretty small. Granted, I have smaller hands than most people, but still, your index finger is a great starting place. And you're actually going to start by just stimulating the rim of the anus. So just doing little circles right on the opening. You're not going in or nothing. You're just like letting the booty hole know, like, hey, oh my God, it's so nice to meet you. I'm here and we're gonna have a great time together. So you do this, and then once you start to feel relaxed, like, okay, I think I'm ready to like venture inside. And everybody's ready for me to venture inside. Then you're gonna go in, and you are just gonna go into like the first line on your index finger. That's as deep as you go. And then you're just doing small little circles while in there. And this is gonna help to relax the internal sphincter. And once that's relaxed, then you can relax the external sphincter. So it's slowly just gonna be like, oh yeah. They're both gonna be like, oh, we get it. You're trying to warm us up, butter us up, because you want to do some more stuff. Yes. And so after a while, once you feel that both of those sphincters are relaxed, and you can easily like move your finger without there being like tension or tightness around it, then you can venture into going deeper. Um, Venture to adding another finger. Don't get crazy and go straight to more like all four fingers. Like after a while, like after you've done it and your circles got a little bit bigger, and you're like, okay, I can put a finger in, another finger in, and it will be comfortable. Move to that. And after a while, you'll be like, okay, cool. I think I'm good with the fingers. Then is when you introduce toys. And by toys, I mean butt plugs or anal beads. Those are my two recommendations when it comes to anal training, depending on the activity you're training for. If you are just trying to engage in anal play by yourself, mostly using toys, then you can use butt plugs to go about that route. If you are trying to have anal sex, actual penetrative anal sex, be it with a toy or an atomically attached body part, um, you're going to want to try, I would recommend using anal beads for a variety of reasons. The first one being that anal beads are going to be longer, which means you're going to get used to things that are going deeper inside of you rather than the shortness of an anal plug, which is only so far in and that's it. And so you get used to that feeling. And then actual anal sex happens and you're like, whoa, 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 I'm not used to this feeling as deep as it is. So that's why I recommend anal beads because you're going to get used to the sensation of something being deeper inside of you. And if you also use anal beads, they generally have a little bit more flexibility to them. So you can be a little bit more adventurous with positionings to find positions that work for you. So depending on what your goal is, whether it's just get comfortable with using toys in your own or actually engage in penetrative play with a partner, go either the anal plug route or the anal beads route. But if you're like, I'm just having fun, Jabay, I just want to see what it's like, go ahead and go crazy and do it all. When it comes to anal plugs, though, they sell sets. I recommend getting a set so that way you have three different sizes or more, and you can easily like level up as you feel more comfortable, as your anus is opening a little bit more, rather than you actually having to go back to the store every time you want to get a larger size butt plug. Absolutely works. You could totally do it that way. Or you could get a kit and have multiple at the same time. But when you are using them, you're going slow with gradually moving up the sizes so that way you're not rushing your body. And when you're using butt plugs, I highly recommend that you don't just like put it in and be like, okay, cool, well, I anal trained. Absolutely not. That's not anal training. You just put something in and that's it. It ain't doing nothing. So I recommend actually using the anal plug to stimulate the sphincters still. So actually going back and forth with it. You can also like go in like little circles with it. You can also get ones that vibrate and do things like that. So that way it's also continuously doing it and you don't have to do as much labor. Obviously, you know my recommendation is going to be B vibe for that. Um, but yeah, get leveling up your anal plug so that way as you get comfortable, you can move up in sizes. Now, if the goal is to actually have penetrative play with a partner and you're anal training with butt plugs, I recommend that you actually end up getting a size butt plug that is similar, if not the same size in terms of circumference as your partner or the toy that y'all are going to use. That way you have a better idea of like, okay, I think I'm actually ready for this. Because a lot of people will anal train with like one or two sizes and then be like, okay, let's do it. And it's like, babes, you didn't get yourself ready for that level of stretch. So why would you like what? So getting toys that are similar to your end goal of what you want inserted is a great way to know if you've actually like got there and you're like, okay, we could do this and have no worries. So that is also important to remember. But yeah, when it comes to anal training, you're gonna take your time. In terms of like the length of time it's gonna take, it depends per person. For some people, they can anal train in a day and be ready to go. Other people, it might take like a week or so. And like every day, you're gradually doing a little bit more anal training. That is okay. Everybody's body is different. And some of us take a little longer to like warm up to things. That's totally fine. Do not feel rushed. If your partner is rushing you to get to anal sex, tell them to stop it or else I'll meet them in a back alley. But you're going to want to take your time and slowly work through so that way you know your body is actually ready and comfortable. Because if you try and rush it, then you can present, like, you can create some issues for yourself or your partner by way of anal fissures, which are like micro tears in the anus and things of that nature. So, we don't want to rush it. We want to take our time and be like, you know what? I got this. It might not be happening overnight, but I'm enjoying the ride. That's what really matters. Enjoy the experience. Anal training can be just as pleasurable as long as you're taking your time, paying attention to your body, and doing what feels good and comfortable for you. Okay. Okay. So once you have gotten all the anal training done and you're like, I feel good, I'm ready for things to happen, proceed as you normally would. Obviously, consent, having a conversation about what you like and enjoy, which is extremely important to pay attention to while anal training so you can relay that information to your partner. So if you realize, like, oh, counterclockwise circles, just like do something to make my toes curl, make note of that. Let your partner know. Or if you're like, it's the in and out motion for me, I really don't enjoy circles in the anus, let them know, but pay attention while you're anal training to see what you actually enjoy, especially if it is your first time ever engaging in anal play. Because you want to do what feels good, not if you don't have to guess. Why would you? So make sure you have enough lube on hand for anal training. Be prepared for it to take more than just 10 minutes. And definitely make sure that you are taking note of what feels good so that way you can relate it to a partner if and whenever you're ready to turn anal into a partner activity. So that is the quick and dirty on how to do anal training. If you're like, Jave, I need more, you know where you can get it? By registering for my workshop. I am teaching a virtual workshop all about anal on August 29th on Zoom. It starts at 6:30 p.m. Pacific. Go ahead and register. I will give you everything you need to have the best anal play of your life. So head on to my website and register for that. Definitely make sure you're following me on all the social media platforms because I'm going to be sharing so much more information all month long about all things anal play. And definitely make sure that you're subscribed to this YouTube channel because, hello, the wealth of knowledge that is this YouTube channel. The effing network is effing good, baby. And definitely make sure you subscribe to my email newsletter just in case any of the social media platforms decide to be mean and give me the boot. That is where you'll find me, and that's where you get all the good information. But yeah, until next time, I'm going to see you later. Deuces.